Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to CareSmartz360 On Air. I am Dennis Gill, Senior Sales Consultant at CareSmartz. In today's episode, we are joined by Jennifer Axelrod, National Accounts and Growth Strategist at a Place at Home franchise, a powerhouse when it comes to helping franchise owners build thriving, people first businesses. With 13 plus years in sales, marketing, and franchise growth, Jennifer bridges heart and strategy, guiding home care brands through the fast changing world of modern marketing. So, from AI tools to authentic storytelling, she's here to unpack what's really working for home care franchises right now. So, welcome to the podcast, Jennifer.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, we're really glad that you were able to take out the time today for our listeners, and they'll be able to learn from you the experience that you have, and it would be a great session today. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's straight away jump on with our first question for you. So, Jennifer, which digital marketing channels yield the best ROI today, according to you?
Okay, so first we're gonna just put right out there. I've worked with franchisees for many, many, many years, and
Okay.
franchisees are not marketers. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Completely agree on that.
Yeah. So my first thing is to partner with an experienced digital marketing company instead of going at it on your own. By
Okay.
far, that
Mhm.
is one way to get an ROI. The second piece would be the main thing would be local SEO.
Uh-huh.
So local SEO, some people think it just has to do with keywords. It is not just keywords. There are so many components to local SEO, and to keep the local feel to all of it. That's the most important thing, and that's the responsibility of a franchise owner. And a
Okay.
franchisor looks at the bigger picture. So let's just go into some of these components. So obviously, search engine optimization has to do with keywords and
Yeah.
how you're found on Google. Then there's Google Business Profile.
Mhm.
And, I have worked with so many owners with this and the importance of keeping this up to date, with pictures, localize it to your community, post things weekly, post
Uh-huh.
blogs there, respond to all reviews, and we'll get into reviews. That's a totally other part to this, but really keep it optimized. And
Okay.
so again, a digital partner can help you with this, but it really does fall on the owner to do this because you know your community better than anybody else and what will resonate to who you're targeting, and who you're targeting in most cases, adult children like myself who have
Mhm.
aging parents.
Mhm.
And so you really want to capture that in your images, in your content, and be really authentic, because
Yeah.
what we see a lot of is stock images,
Mhm.
and stock images are great, but when you see them on every single home care agency website and even in their Google business, what makes you stand out? And that's the key with Google business. You have to stand out.
Yeah, no,
So
yeah.
that's Google business. Your website is by far the best tool that you have.
Got it.
But it is local SEO that drives people to your website. So again, the website has to be, it has to have the keywords. It has to generate the content that's going to attract people to your website. And it's got to be relevant content to keep people there, right? So they convert. So Google Business, again, can be your secondary website. And I love this because I've shared this with owners before, is like, if you build out your Google Business profile, like to the way that you should, and keep it completely up to date, it can be a website where you will convert right there, through
Yeah.
chats, through contact, through mobile. Now they just AI, and of course we're going to go into that. So it is your digital storefront. By far one of the best, easy ways to have ROI that's very no cost, really no cost, right? Okay, so now let's go to reviews, because, and here's another important piece. Reviews have to be part of your sales process. You cannot just ask for reviews I'll ask this time, or, oh, I didn't get around to doing it this time. It has to be something that you are intentional about. And we had an owner that in her first year, she got 100 reviews. They were all real reviews. They were not generated by computers. They weren't her friends and family. They were real customers and real caregivers. And it's huge. It's huge
Yeah.
because it speaks to the trust
Mhm.
factor, and it really shows what your client satisfaction and experience is, which is so, so important. And
Mhm.
also on the caregiver side, right? And in this business, it's unique because you are always marketing to both. You are
Yep.
always hiring caregivers, and you are always looking for clients to be successful. So when it comes to caregivers, recruitment's changed. You have
Yeah.
to market to caregivers. You are not just an HR person going and finding people to fill a space. These
Right.
people are, this is a really important decision people are making, and caregivers sacrifice their time, their energy, sometimes their health to provide this service for your community. So that's a
Okay.
really important piece that comes out in reviews. And we share at a place at home, like we share numbers of reviews on our weekly update. This location got this review, and look, 7 reviews coming from here. And so we've really become intentional with reviews. And so that's really important because that can be your conversion and it can be your referral easily, right? So within that, again, builds trust, boosts visibility, reviews. Google loves seeing reviews. Here's the important piece, and this goes right back to the Google business profile. You have to respond to reviews, good or
Yeah.
bad, have to respond. You can't leave them for Google to say you don't care about these people. And
Mhm.
that's if you want to keep showing up on the Google search and high in the rankings, that's a really important piece. Now, the nice thing is there are platforms and partners, and we work with Consumer Fusion, and they help us with reputation management. And so if there is a negative review, sometimes they can help get it down so it doesn't hurt the reputation. There's canned responses if someone can't answer, but we still like to be authentic and have our owners answer all reviews. And we've had no issues with that. So that's an amazing piece. And, reviews drive decision. Google business drives decision. When people are looking, they are, they are looking for this special service, and maybe they don't even know they need it.
Yeah.
But then you come into intentional intent-based marketing searches, and that's Google Ads. So, some people will say Google Ads is not so good for home care. I disagree. I think when it's paired with SEO, especially local SEO, it does balance together. You need both, right?
Okay.
But the one thing with Google Ads, and here's the benefit with Google Ads, it's pay per click. So you're paying only if they click. They want the service, so that it's already intent based, so conversion should be high. They're searching, they're ready to buy. And home care is not really buying a service, but anyways, you can track results, which is really good for ROI because you get to know your numbers. You
Got it.
control the budget. This is important because when it comes to Google Ads, it can become very expensive very fast if you don't control that budget and you're
Yeah.
not measuring, is it an ROI?
Mhm.
And then target your local area. So only people in this area. So Google Ads does give that benefit. So all in all, I mean, really it's local SEO. And local SEO and SEO is the long game. It takes time. And you really should build that SEO with that digital marketing company first, and
Got it.
then consider Google Ads and pair them together. But that's how I would answer that question.
Okay. Perfect. And how much should franchises invest in AI automation tools according to you?
Okay. So obviously in marketing, there's, the shiny object, and AI and automation seems to be this shiny object for all of us now. It starts with note taker and help with our meetings. So we stop taking notes, which is amazing. And once you start to implement that in your system, it's like life changing. But you know what? and I heard a statistic, I'm not going to be completely accurate, but it's just about over 50% of home care businesses, and I'm going to probably say franchising specifically, have invested in some form of AI and automation. And I'm proud to say that A Place at Home has, on a small scale, with certain partners that we work with, to simplify some of the things that could just save time, right? So automate anything that can be automated, in my opinion, should, unless there's a real strong human component. So you start simple, you test it out, you see what works, what doesn't work. Lead follow-ups, reminders. One of the biggest things in home care with caregivers is no-shows. So when my owners tell me, look, I had all these no-shows, I'm like, well, do you do a reminder that's automated? Let's hope it's automated. The day before, the hour before. Are they getting those reminders to their phones? Because then the chance of them not showing up is less than the other, right? So, we use a platform called Deploy, an application tracking system. There's lots of automation emails that go along with that. There are other ones out there. We've introduced Hello Hire to the recruitment side as well to do some of that automation and help save time when it comes to recruiting and screening. Because we know going through hundreds of resumes manually is exhausting, a waste of your time, because you'll probably find a needle in the haystack. And if it's something a computer can do and only send you a small amount, well, that's amazing. And that's something we're moving ahead with now. Some home care companies will also say scheduling could be something that could be done by AI and automation. You know what? Some are going to be hesitant because scheduling is a scheduler is one of the most important pieces to your office team. Could we replace it in the future? I'm thinking maybe, if a computer can do a proper scheduling, never make a mistake with the address, all these kind of little things, reminders, messages. Maybe that's an AI opportunity as well. Yeah.
So that would definitely, there are many jobs, as we are also aware, many jobs where people were really frightened that AI would take their place. Some places it did, but some places still, human touch is still required.
Yes, and we never want to replace people for machines. And this is a special industry. You have to have the care, you have to have the heart. And this is personal care. You're not going to replace it with a robot. I would never be okay with
definitely. And obviously the personal care is that term would not work then. Personal caring, definitely.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Next thing, how do you balance franchisor versus local marketing efforts?
Okay, this always comes up probably at the beginning when a franchisee starts. That expectation has to be set at the beginning because it can cause issues down the line if they come in with the wrong expectation that the franchisor is going to be doing all their marketing. The truth is that the franchisor has the brand. They give the assets. They give you the playbook, right? How to do this. They give you the direction, the voice, all of it. The local team, the local franchisee gives the heart and tells the stories, and that's what sells, to tell you the truth. The other is brand awareness, and in some bigger franchises, there's corporate campaigns, radio, television, lots of PR, but the real build for a small business owner is right in their community.
Right in their community, yep. And which content types convert best for home care leads?
Stories sell, client testimonials sell. I like video. Short videos will sell over ads any day. And caregiver spotlights. I think owner spotlights too, from a franchisor perspective, and we do that a lot. I think it's important to show what these people actually do and what they're doing for their community. But a caregiver spotlight is you're more than just a job to us. You're more than just, someone that's going to go and do a shift for us. You're part of our team. You mean something to us. That creates that emotion and that trust. So definitely, and then stories, always stories.
Oh, totally. Okay. And how do
Yeah.
you track marketing efforts to real client conversations?
Okay, so that would be a CRM.
Mhm.
Gone are the days where we use spreadsheets.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's done.
You know what? You need something stable.
Yeah,
And you need to know your numbers. You need to have call tracking. You need to track your calls. For a franchisor, this is golden because we can listen to the calls and coach owners to even better have better closing ratios. You got to know your closing ratios. You got to know your conversion rates. Like without this information, you're just, I don't know, throwing darts. That's how I kind of see it. So yeah, I mean, the thing in our business is the cost per acquisition is really important. How much
okay.
marketing you're doing,
Mhm.
and let's face it, the majority is still relationship building in the community by far.
Yeah,
But you have to balance it with digital. I truly believe that because if you're going to walk into the local hospital, rehab, SNF, senior living, you could then tag them, it goes back to SEO and
mhm.
showing up on Google and your support. You're partnering with them. You're not just asking for referrals. So
Yep,
that piece is always important. This piece has to show up because you still have to drive traffic to your website.
right.
And now there's even no click AI searches. So you
Yeah,
just have to make sure your content is strong. It targets who you're looking for. It's consistent across platforms. So Google or AI knows exactly what to drive this person that's searching. And you just always have to be authentic. And just to give you a story that just happened yesterday, it was so cool. But one
mhm,
of my owners, she that I coach because I'm also a franchise business coach.
okay.
She wanted to develop one of her caregivers, and one of her caregivers wanted to be a CNA, and she
Okay.
just didn't have the resources to do it. So the owner put in the investment beyond the paid caregiver wages,
Mhm.
and she just graduated. So now she's a CNA.
Great, great.
And there's a future goal to actually make her a lead caregiver as we tap into some new revenue streams, which is so cool because that
Yeah,
story is now shared in the recruitment process, and they can use that. Look, this person we invested in, they
mhm,
moved in their career because we really care about you. And
yeah.
now we're going to get more caregivers. So I love stories.
No, definitely. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear that. And
Yeah.
finally, the last thing, what low cost but high impact tactics work for smaller franchisees?
Again, it goes back to Google Business Profile.
Mhm,
Keep that active, keep that going, keep that consistent. So, if you add a new program, a new service line, it
mhm.
has to go into your Google Business because now it's another piece of your business that people need to know about.
Yeah,
So they're not going to go to Google Business and not see it, but then go to your website and see it, and then they're confused already, and you've already lost credibility.
yeah.
Um, Engage locally. I kind of said that, and just steady actions beat big budgets. You don't need big budgets
Mhm.
in digital marketing for home care. You need to do relationship building and use digital marketing to help you with the conversion piece, the client acquisition, the caregiver acquisition, and the credibility and trust for your agency.
Perfect, perfect. Good to hear that. So thank you, Jennifer, for sharing your expertise today with us, with all our listeners. And I hope our
Absolutely.
listeners had a great time and they will definitely learn a lot from this, new things they might have learned about, and new franchises, smaller franchises that are coming up. Must be a great session for them.
All right.
And to our lovely audience, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Dennis Gill signing off, and we'll meet you soon. Thank you.